Good evening. My name is Maricel Cockwood, author of Finding True Love Through Online Dating, a Christian Woman's Guide, available on Amazon, eBay, Ingram Spark, as well as Barnes and Noble. And every Thursday night, I try to go through my book. For those of you who do not have a copy of this, grab a copy on Amazon, but if not, you're more than welcome to just watch and listen. I'm now on the fourth part of the pros and cons of online dating, and I'm just gonna dive in. Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, and this is a new, another pro basically, or another positive of online dating. You can ignore the men or women you don't like. Have you ever been pestered by admirers who wouldn't take no for an answer? It can get emotionally draining and mentally exhausting. Not so with online dating. Requests and messages from people who don't even meet your criteria will bombard you. Trust me. But that's just life on the World Wide Web. Sadly, there are so many lonely people out there and so many scammers too. The great thing though is that it's so much easier to ignore them. They don't have your number, so all they can do is send you repeated requests. At least it's not as annoying as missed calls. All you have to do is ignore or skip their messages. You are in no way obligated to read their messages. They will eventually get it and they'll stop reaching out to you. Or sometimes they don't. Just keep ignoring. That's the key. They don't have your address, so they can't just show up at your door either. Have you ever had somebody show up at your door and you couldn't seem to get them out of your place? Been there, done that. With online dating, you won't ever have to face this kind of problem. Unless, of course, you've already given the man or woman your address. If anybody tries to harass you online, you can just auto-delete your emails, ignore them, or block them. Some online dating apps allow you to submit someone's profile to be blocked by the admin. You can show how many emails you've gotten from a person and they will quickly take care of it. So if anybody's harassing you, no worries. It's so easy to fix. Unlike if it's in person, it's not so easy to handle. Another positive, less opportunity for you to get hurt. I had to make sure that it's a positive. Unless you're already deep in the dating scene with a man or woman, it's so hard to get hurt online. If you hardly know the person, it's hard to fall head over heels for them. So it's less likely for you to get hurt. But if you meet somebody in person and you get to know each other deeply, getting hurt with that person when that relationship does not work out is more inevitable. Again, been there, done that. Since I had a failed fake relationship in the past in person, I have learned to guard my heart well, sometimes all too well. But that really served me well in the online dating scene. And to set the record straight, I was not devastated when our so-called relationship, quote and unquote, ended. I can't even say I was hurt, thank goodness. But I was disappointed in him as much as I was disappointed in myself. It disappointed me that I failed to see through him. It did bruise my ego because I thought I was spiritually mature enough to have known better. Ego. When you're online, complete strangers will bombard you with strange proposals. If you know who you are and are not gullible, you know it's better to ignore these kinds of men. They're nothing but trouble and are only after your money. They will send you rosy emails hoping you will take the bait. If you're in a lonely and vulnerable place, it's easy to fall for such scammers. For that's all they are, scammers. So, my advice to you is to make sure that you are not going online when you are most vulnerable emotionally, because you could easily fall headlong. This happens a lot to widows and older women, but if you are secure in yourself and you know who you are in Christ, this shouldn't be a problem for you. case in point, I had a very good friend in Dubai. We were very close, and I think of all my friends, she's probably the one who got to know me really well because I told her things that I wouldn't normally tell other friends of mine, and she's of course told me so many things about her that she never told anybody. And then she went online and met this person, and by the time she met this guy, I was already married, and I think she was I don't know if there was some jealousy there, and she became, because I felt like she was exposing herself too much to this guy. She was confiding too much of herself to this guy, and she really didn't know him that well yet, because it was very early stage of not even a relationship, just getting to know each other. And I felt that she was sharing too much. Long story short, she did share too much, and before we know it, that guy hurt her a lot. He made promises to her, and she really thought that he was sincere, but I was having a lot of doubts about this guy, and sadly, I turned out to be right, and I really wanted to be proven wrong, but I wanted to protect her. I cared for her, and I wanted to make sure that she was gonna be okay. She was not gonna get hurt, but she wouldn't listen. So again, you really have to be very careful when you're online, because just because you start talking, unless that guy comes to see you, unless that guy proves himself to be who he says he is, then you can't really trust that person. A lot of the times, men online, I'm pretty sure women online too, they'll tell you what you want to hear, not necessarily what you need to hear, but they, because they want something from you. So you really have to be very, very careful, because it happened to somebody I knew, and it happens to a lot of people. So it happens every day. So you just be and again, it happens online, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen offline. It happens offline all the time. But I'm just being transparent. I'm just opening your eyes to the dangers of online dating. It's also equally dangerous dating offline. Okay. If you inadvertently like a seemingly good potential man or woman and get rejected, it's much easier to forget that person and move on. And let me just say that my friend did find somebody and they got married, and I honestly don't know how they are today. I know that they're still together, and I really hope and pray that they are doing well. As the saying goes, there are too many fish in the sea. The one that got away was just one in a million, more like billions. So if you do get rejected, lift your head up, dust off your clothes, and move on. There's no point in crying over spilled milk. The fact that the person allowed you to fall through the cracks means he or she is not worthy of you. This was exactly my attitude when I dumped the older man. As far as I know, he's still single today, probably playing with another younger woman's emotions. Surely the right man or woman for you will give you the attention you deserve, and he or she is there somewhere. At the right time and in the right place, the right kind of man or woman for you will cross paths with you one day. Just learn to trust God's timing. And I'm going to end there because I'm about to start the cards. So make sure to follow me on Thursday next week. Be sure to check out my next video, and please make sure that you follow me on TikTok so you know when I'm actually posting my next video. And if you're following me if you're watching me on YouTube, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'd know when I post my latest video. And again, if you're young at heart, or you are literally young, this book is for you. If you've been praying for a spouse and you feel like you're not getting any traction in person, then